Well, it's going to be another very busy week in the ag marketplace. Of course, later on we will have the WASDE report on April 9th. We're taking a look at the daily market summary for today, and I'm with Ethan Robson of agmarket.net. Ethan, what do we see going on in the grain markets?
Yeah, risk off day in the corn and soybean market. Seeing some red on the screen there. May corn down about 5 cents, 4.48 and 3/4. New crop corn down about 5.5 as well, 4.77.5. Soybean market a little bit disappointing that day as well. There, May soybeans down about 9 cents, 11.58. New crop soybeans down about 7, 11.50 even. Wheat market up a penny or two across the board.
We know that the markets have been reacting to really any headline that's been in the marketplace. Of course, here recently, there's been a lot of headlines of just what President Trump has been posting on social media, what he believes is going to happen with the situation with the Strait of Hormuz and the war in Iran. A lot of things happening, but it feels like the markets are maybe tempered a little bit from everything that's happened, and they aren't reacting as severely as they could.
Exactly. Yeah. Seems like the corn and soybeans kind of divorcing themselves away from the crude oil market right now. Seeing crude oil up triple digits and corn market well off their highs there. So that's been interesting to see. Think corn's coming back down. Trading some fundamentals report has the USDA report this Thursday, I believe. Not expecting any big surprises there. Ending stocks are relatively trade estimates expecting ending stocks to remain relatively quiet there within last month's report. Like you said, though, trades kind of wait and see at this moment with President Trump, what he's been saying, what can happen if U.S. Iran don't come to a truce agreement. That had the outside markets relatively quiet today. Stock market trading unchanged for most of the session.
Then, when we look at the livestock side of things, how did cattle and hogs trade today?
Yeah, livestock, a little bit of a weaker tone there. Live cattle, June down about $1.22.5, 245.80. Feeder cattle down about $3 there. Seeing some overall weakness after yesterday's good positive day. Filled some gaps there in the feeder cattle chart. That was good to see coming back onto the highs. I think most of it today was just kind of wait and see from the stock market. Stock market was trading both sides, a little bit weaker. Just seeing some profit taking there.
And then, with the weather warming up, we're really in that spring season. That demand is going to hike up as well. And do we think that the demand will have maybe more or less of an impact this year? We know the prices are having a big impact on the consumer's wallet.
It is, yeah. Seeing the consumer continues to continue to buy high priced beef. It's going to be interesting to see now, especially at the gas pumps with gas obviously going higher, if the consumer can and will continue to purchase high priced beef or record high beef prices. So it's going to be interesting to see. But like you said, demand continues to remain positive, and that's definitely the supporting factor in this cattle market.
Then overall, when we look at the impacts from the war in Iran, the Strait of Hormuz, you mentioned gas prices being a major factor there. When it comes to the grains and the livestock, at this point, what are we looking at to see from that? Because even when this ends, those consequences are still going to be felt.
Exactly, yeah. Seeing the corn market early on, obviously, got a little bit of boost there because both corn and soybeans have been used and are used for the energy sector. So it's going to be interesting to see if and when the U.S.-Iran conflict ends, if there's any managed money looks at their long positions in the ag and decides to move some money flow around. So definitely some risk on the table as far as that side, just something to keep telling producers to put in their back of their mind that if this conflict does get solved relatively quickly, could definitely see some money flow change hands.
All right, Ethan, lots of great information today. For anyone who would like to get in touch with agmarket.net, how can they do that?
Yeah, give us a call 1-800-779-1515. Visit us online, agmarket.net.
Thanks again for the time, as always, Ethan, and we'll talk again soon.
Yep, thank you.